Hey everyone, it's Weijen, the old school meeple, and today we are going to be playing one of my favorite dungeon crawl games, and that is Rogue Dungeon 2nd Edition by Cerberus Gate Games. This is a fun little dungeon crawler that sees you take an adventurer into the depths of a dungeon, and the aim is to get to the bottom, fight the boss, defeat it, and then you win the game. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? So how the game works is that you will choose an adventurer, and then you will go through different levels of a map. And when you get to the red area of the map, you will descend to the next level. And when you reach the 5th level, and you reach the red zone in the 5th level, you will then fight a boss. And if you defeat the boss, then you win. Now, each level, as you can see, consists of a lot of these colored gems, which represent different rooms within that floor. And every time you reach one of the colored gems, you'll flip open the top card of the deck corresponding to the same color and resolve an encounter. And after you've resolved an encounter, whether you pass or fail, you will then move on and resolve another encounter, and so on and so forth until you hit the stairs going down for the next level. Now for this game, I've chosen to play the monk, and as you can see, the monk itself has 3 primary stats. They're all highlighted: strength, agility, and intellect, which means that she can use almost any sort of equipment that considers these stats her primary stats. They all start at 3. And she also has 6 vitality, which represents her maximum health. So as you can see, we start with 6 health. She has a luck stat of 1, and luck can be used for re-rolling dice or adding to your die rolls. And she also has a combat damage value of 1. Now, how you determine weapon damage is that it is the number of weapons that you have matching your primary stat. In which case, this game, we only start with 1 weapon, which is the quarterstaff, so we deal 1 damage. And as we find more weapons, she will deal more damage. We also start with a skill that we can use because, as you can see, the prerequisites are having stats. There are 3+ in all of them, and we can discard Meditate at any time to gain +1 strength, agility, or intellect, and this cannot be traded. The other skills require higher stats threshold, so we can't use them for now. And there are other concepts in the game that I will explain as we go along. So without further ado, let's start. So the first room I'm going to head to is this yellow room here. So whenever you head to a room, you will take a counter matching that gem, and the gems have direction, so you will face it in the same direction as the picture on the map to mark that it's been explored. Then you will flip open the top card of the deck, and the first one that we have is a crushing wall. So one hero must make a strength check. Pass if you discard a transmute rock to mud scroll. Unfortunately, I do not have a transmute rock to mud scroll. So how do you do an ability check? You check your ability, and in this case strength is 3. You roll a 10-sided die, and if you roll less than or equal to that number, then you pass. Now I'm playing at the intermediate level, so I get to roll 2 dice, and I can choose any of the die values to use. So let's see what we get. We need 3 or less. Just replacing the health to make sure that's the correct number. And we got 5 and 3, which is great. So 3 is equal to our strength check of 3. So we've passed. And when we pass, it says that all heroes gain 2 XPs once per game. So we'll get 2 experience points. And as you can see, there is a symbol here, which is a yellow gem, which means that this room is a persistent room. And then we'll put it here. And what that means is that if we ever pass by this room again, we will have to do this strength check for the crushing wall again. So we will want to try to avoid doing that as much as possible. But that probably means that we are going to miss out on this monster here, as I don't want to go that way again. So I'm going to go down to this room, and I'm going to mark it. This is upward facing yellow gem, and we will draw a card. And it is Spider's Web. You get caught in the Spider's Web. Make a strength check. So it is another strength check. And we will roll the dice again. This time we get 9 and 4. We were so close. I don't think that I'm going to... Yeah. I'm not going to reroll because the failure here is to discard an armor, treasure, or potion, of which I have none. So that's it. That said, it is in a persistent room, so we will again mark it and leave it there. And then I'm going to be heading to this room over here, which is green gem. We'll mark it as such, and we'll flip open this card, and it says it is an alchemist lab. You find a potion and drink it. Roll a d10. Okay, let's see. Let's see what the d10 says. And it is a 9. 9 is lose 1 intellect. Oh no, we're down to 2 intellect. That was not good at all. So that's that room. So now we'll come back again to the spider's web and we'll make the check again. So we'll do a strength check. And this time we get 10 and 8, which means we fail again. But again, we have nothing of the type to lose. So we'll move on to the next yellow room. And it is a narrow ledge. Make an agility check to cross the narrow ledge. Pass if you have a rope or discard a flying carpet. I have neither. So it's an agility check. I need 3 or less. And we got 3 on the green die. So we passed, and it is also a persistent room. So we will leave it and mark it. And now we're going to be heading here to the red room. And we will likely be facing our first monster. So it is an encounter. Draw 1 monster and resolve combat. So we'll draw from the monster deck, and as you can see, it's a skeleton. The number here represents its level, so it's level 1. It has 1 health, it has a monster attack value of 8, and a monster damage value of 1. Now what happens for combat is that I will roll a 10-sided die, or 2 in this case, and add one of my primary stats to it, in which case it would be strength or agility, since my intellect has now fallen to 2. And then I will add the 10-sided die roll to it, and if it is higher than the monster's monster attack value of 8, then I will do damage to it, equal to my weapon damage. If the number is equal to the monster's attack value, then we will both do damage to each other. And if it is lower, then the skeleton will do damage to me. So let's see, first round of combat, I'm going to use strength. And there is a 6, there's 9, and a 2. So 9 plus 3 is 12, which is higher than the monster's attack value of 8. So we deal 1 damage to it. But because the skeleton only has 1 health, it is destroyed, and we win this combat. And when you win combat, you'll gain XP equivalent to the level of the monster, which in this case is 1. So we'll get 1 experience points. And we will also get 1 loot card. So we'll draw a loot card, and it is a pair of gauntlets. So we can discard to reduce damage taken by 1 health. And this goes into the armor slot here. Now, anytime, you can also spend your experience points to increase your stats. And the amount that you need is stated on the board itself. So we're going to spend 2 to increase our intellect back up to 3 again. And at any time after resolving any room, you may also rest by spending 1 of this camping gear and rolling a die. But in this case, because we haven't lost any hit points yet, there's no need to rest. So we will be moving on. And we'll come back to this room, which is the narrow ledge, which means that we will have to do the agility check again. And we roll a 1 and an 8, so we passed again, which is great. And I think for the last encounter for this floor, it is another red gem. Let's see what we got. It is an encounter, draw 1 monster and resolve combat. So the monster this time around is a green slime. It is also level 1, but it has 3 health, but a much lower monster attack value of 6. So first we'll roll for the first round of combat. We get 10 plus 3, which is 13. We definitely do 1 damage to it. It's not dead yet, so we'll continue. 5 plus 3 is 8, which is higher, so that's another point of damage. So 1 more point and we will win. 6 and 10, that's it. We've killed the green slime. So the green slime is now goes to the discard pile. We will get our 1 XP. So it goes up to 2. And we will also draw a loot card, which is a silver coffer. So this is a treasure, which means that we can use it as 2 loot cards for trading, or if we save it to the end of the game and we win, it will count towards our prestige level. Now we are at the stairs, so we can go down, and what happens is that we will clear all the gems tokens that have been placed on the map for that level. We will also clear the persistent rooms because those will no longer be on that floor. We'll remove this card. We'll place the adventurer on the stairs of the next level, and we'll change the dungeon level to level 2. And off we go. We will also replace the monster deck with the level 2 monsters, which I'll be getting and shuffling. So these are the level 2 monsters, and that's what we'll be facing on this level. Now we haven't got any weapons yet, so we're still only doing 1 damage. That's not ideal. So the first room we are going to, again, is a yellow room. We will mark it, and we will draw a yellow card. It is a treasure mimic. You attempt to open a treasure chest. Make an intellect check. Alright, it's a good thing our intellect is bound back up to 3. So let's go, and we've got a 2 and a 10, a 2, so we've passed the intellect check. And when we pass, we get to draw 1 loot card and gain 2 XP, which is great. So we get 2 XP, and we have a total of 4 now. And it is a potion of healing, which we can discard to gain D6 plus 1 health. Okay, that's come in handy. And since I have 4 XP, I'm going to spend 3 of them to increase strength by 1. So we're up to 4 strength now. And then this room gets discarded as well, as instructed by the card. So we are going to be moving on. We are going to be heading this way. It's a red card, so we will draw this, and it's an encounter. And we will be fighting a troglodyte. Troglodyte. Okay. It's got 3 health. It's got a monster attack value of 8, and it does 2 damage. So we're going to be using strength because that's higher now at 4. And double 1s, that's no good at all. We're going to be taking 2 damage here. So we're down to 4 health. Next round of combat. 5 and 6. So 6 plus 4 is 10. That's higher than the monster attack value of 8. So we'll do 1 damage. Next round. 9 and 1. So again, we deal another point of damage. 1 more hit and we'll have killed the troglodyte. And 7 and 4. So 7 plus 4 is 11. So we've defeated the troglodyte. We now get 2 XP and a loot card. And the loot card is a torch, which we can use to discard to kill the mummy. Wow, okay, that might be useful to receive the mummy. And I'm also going to spend the 3 that we have to increase our agility to 4. So as you can see, the monk values having all the stats increased. So we'll try to increase them equally in that order. So the next one I'll be going for is intellect. So we're going to head over to this little room here in the corner, which is a white gem. And we'll flip open the top card, and it is Guild Merchant. So if you choose to trade, draw 5 loot cards and place them face up on this room. You may discard 2 loot cards or 1 treasure to take any one of the loot cards on this room any number of times. Afterward, discard the remaining loot cards on this room. Okay, so let's see. We're going to draw a skeleton key, a flail, oh, a weapon, that's what we want, a rope, an amulet of protection, and a breastplate. Okay, so I think we are definitely going to take the flail. We'll discard the silver coffer because it counts as 2 items, and that goes to our weapons. So we will now increase our weapon damage to 2. Now I'm thinking if I want to take one of these, I will probably get rid of the potion of healing and the gauntlets. I don't think they're all that useful now. And I will go for either... Ooh, the amulet of protection looks good, but the rope and skeleton key might get me out of some tight situations. So I think I'm going to go for the rope. And that's it for the trading. So we will discard all of the other loot items as well as the card. Now, where do we want to go next? I think we'll head here to this blue section, and we'll draw a blue card, and it is a Song of Sirens. Sirens lure you into the dark abyss. Pass only if one hero discards a silent scroll, horn of blasting, or lute of soothing. Well, I have none of those items, so I fail, but the fail condition is that one hero must discard a henchman, which I have none. So that's it. It's time to move back now to this way. Let's go to this writ gem here, and we'll see what we get. It's encounter, draw one monster, and this time we are fighting Assassin Vine. It has a special ability, Ensnare, which means that if the combat roll that I have is 5, it's going to ensnare me. And what Ensnare does is that it will place an Ensnare token on my hero, which presumably does something bad. I'd rather not find out. It's got 2 health, 8 monster attack value, and it does 3 damage. But because it only has 2 health and I have 2 weapon damage now, 1 hit from me will kill it. So adding 4 to my roll, 3 and 3 is 4. Oh, do I want to re-roll this? Or do I want to take 3 damage? Yes, I will take the 3 damage. I'm down to 1 health. Second round of combat. 4 and 3. That's not good at all. 4 plus 4 is 8, which is equal, which means that I will take damage. I'm going to use 1 point of luck, which means I have no more luck left, to increase the 4 to a 5. Plus 4 is 9, which means I just about defeated the Assassin Vine. I get 2 XP and a loot card. It's a shield. It's a scroll of shield, which I can use to discard to block any damage. Phew, might be useful, but now I've got no more luck left, which means I have no way of mitigating my rolls. I hope there's some way I can get luck. Now, because I'm down to 1 health, I'm going to use one of my camping gear to rest. So I'll discard it. And I will roll a d6 and add 1 to it and restore that amount of health. So that's a 6. So I get back 6 health. But my maximum is 6, so I'll just be up to 6 itself. Right, moving on to the next room. It is a yellow gem. It is a troll bridge. We're going to be fighting a troll. Wow. It's a level 4 monster. It has 6 health, 12 attack value, 3 damage. A troll demands a toll to cross. One hero must discard a loot card or you must fight the troll. I'm just not ready to fight the troll yet. So I'm going to discard the shield scroll at this point in time. And I'm going to bribe it and I'm running away. So moving on, we have the red gem. And it is a encounter. Draw 1 monster and resolve combat. And this time we are fighting Evil Cats. 4 health, 9 monster attack value, with just 1 damage. This shouldn't be too difficult, I hope. So we're rolling 6 and 1, so 6 plus 4 is 10. That's good. We've done 2 damage, 1 more hit, and we will defeat the Evil Cats. 5 and 1, so 5 and 4 is 9. It's even, so we'll do damage to each other. So the cats will be defeated, but I will take 1 point of damage. So I'm down to 5 health. And then we'll get 2 XP. And a loot card. And this time we're getting a potion of luck. Discard to gain 2 luck. Just nice since I'm out of luck. So I'm going to discard this potion right now to get 2 luck. Most fortuitous. I'm also going to use my XP, 3 of them to be precise, to increase my intellect to 4. So now we're up to 4 for all our primary stats. Might as well head into this green room here. And it is a magic mouth. The wall begins to speak in riddles. Draw a loot card and place it face up on this room. You may place a loot card on this room to make an intellect check. You may make any number of these wagers. Okay, so the loot card here is a Sneaky Slippers. Consider the dungeon level -2 for camping rolls and combat evasion rolls. That's pretty interesting. I'm not going to bother though. So I'm just going to discard this room as well as the loot card. And then we're going to head past here to this yellow gem. And that is the swinging blades. You dodge your way down a hall of deadly swinging blades. Make an agility check. Okay, so agility is 4, 2, and 5. So we've passed the agility check. So we will gain 2 XP. And that's it for this room. It is a persistent room, but since I'm leaving this level now, I'm not going to bother putting a gem on it. So I'm going to go down. So again, we'll clear all the gem markers on the board. We will remove this card, place our adventurer on the stairs, and advance the dungeon level to 3. And we are now in level 3, so we can get rid of the level 2 monster stack. And we'll bring in the level 3s. I'm not sure if I'm ready to take them on yet. I haven't gotten my 3rd weapon yet, or even my 4th for that matter. So let's see how. So this is the level 3 monsters. Right. The first one we're heading to is this yellow gem here. And it will be a trapped chest. You attempt to open a treasure chest. One hero must make an agility check. So 4 or less. 3 and 5. Yes, we got the 3, so we've passed. So the pass means we disarm the trap and all heroes gain 2 XP. I'm up to 5 now. And we draw 1 loot card, and it is a Scroll of Healing. Discard and choose any hero to gain d6 plus 1 health. Okay, that's going to be handy, I think. Now with 5 XP, I'm going to discard all of them and increase my strength to 5. And this room gets discarded as well. And then we will move into this blue room here, with a locked safe. So you enter a room with several locked safes. Any hero may discard a lockpick or skeleton key. Oh, I should have taken the skeleton key just now, but I've got the rope to draw 2 loot cards. So unfortunately, that's that. So that room's been explored. So we'll move on to this green room here. And it is a witch. You encounter an old witch. She offers to brew you a potion for some of your youth. You may spend 1 XP to gain 2 health any number of times. Well, I have no XP, so that's a moot point. So this room is done. I'm going to head down to this yellow gem here. So that is this. And it is a trapdoor. Make an intellect check. Pass if any hero discards a rope. Well, I have a rope. So, yeah, I'm just going to discard the rope and pass the check. I'm not sure if 4 is quite high enough. And then there will be 3 red gems to encounter. So we'll do them one by one. So the first one is draw a monster and resolve combat. And this time we are fighting Shambling Mound. It is level 3. It has 7 health, my god. It has 9 monster type value and it does 3 damage. Okay, so we have a strength of 5 now. Hopefully that helps. So 5, we've got 10 and 8, so that's great. So we've done 2 damage. And the next round, 4 and 6. 6 plus our value of 5 is 11. So again, that's another 2 damage. Round 3, 5 and 8. That's great. We're doing great. That's another 2 damage. So 1 more hit will kill it. 6 and 2. Yep, we got it. And we get 3 XP and a loot card. And the Shambling Mound has been killed. So the loot card we get is a Jade Idol. Again, it's a treasure, so it will be good for trading. Now, the next encounter that we have is Just an encounter, draw a monster, and this time it is a ghoul. So it has 5 health, 11 monster attack value. It does 2 damage. That's going to be a bit tricky. And it has a regen on a roll of 6, which means that if I roll a 6, it gains d6 plus 1 health. So I've got a value of 5, so I'm going to need to roll 7 or more in order to hit it and not get hit back. 7 and 4, that's great. So that's 2 damage. And round 2. 2 and 2. Nope. That's not enough. I'm going to get hit, so I'll lose 2 health. I'm down to 3. Next round. 9 and 1. Yes, that's a good hit. So he's taken 4. 1 more hit will kill it. 7 and a 4. Yes, 7 was what I need. The ghoul is dead. So we get another 3 XP, of which I will discard 5 to increase my agility. And then I'm going to draw a loot card, and it is a Scroll of Silence, which we can use to discard to kill a harpy, negate the Song of Sirens or Banshee, and gain an additional 2 XP. Okay, not too bad. And the last encounter in this room will be a Monster Bash. You encounter monsters feuding. Before they see you, you are able to make a sneak attack. Draw 2 monsters. 1 hero may inflict their weapon damage to a monster. Resolve combat. That's interesting. Okay, so we'll draw 2 monsters. A giant spider and a hellhound. Okay, so I'm going to attack the hellhound with my free weapon damage. Then I'm going to target the hellhound first. So it's got a monster attack value of 12, which means I need a pretty high number. 7 and 5 is 12, so we'll both deal damage. So it does 2 to me, and I deal 2 to it, which kills it. And then, well, I'll put this here first just to remind me. And then at this point, I'm going to use my Scroll of Healing to discard it and gain d6 plus 1 health, since I'm just down to that 1 health and I don't want to die. So that's a 3, so I gain 4 health, so up to 5. And we'll fight the giant spider now. So it's got a monster attack value of 11. 8 and 8, that's great. I deal 2 damage. Next round. 8 and 1, 8, so I do another 2 damage. 1 more hit will be enough to kill it. And I get 8 and 10, that's great. So I've killed the giant spider. So that's 6 XP. And 2 loot cards. So we get first a pickaxe, which allows me to discard to inflict 1 damage. Okay. And the second loot card is a lockpick. Alright. And I'm going to use 5 XP to increase my intellect to 5. So now we do have access to the next skill, which is Zen Focus, where we can discard on a successful combat roll to inflict your weapon damage to all other monsters. It's pretty interesting. Okay. And then we're going to backtrack all the way to here, which is this white gem. And it is a Gnome Trader. So similar to the Guild Merchant, I will draw 5 loot cards, and let's see if any of them are worth trading for. For the helm, got a magic mirror, got the potion of vitality, a torch, and gauntlets of strength. Okay, so we might as well trade for something. Well, I already have a torch, so I'm not going to get that. The helm might be useful, but the Gauntlet of Strength gives me 1 strength, which is a free 8 XP essentially. So I think I'm going to take that. So I'm going to take the Gauntlets of Strength, and that's gonna cost me my Jade Idol. So I gain 1 strength immediately, so I'm up to 6. And that's it. So we're done with level 3. That was pretty fast. Okay, so now that we're done with level 3, we're going to clear all the gem tokens here. And we will be moving on to level 4. So we'll discard this. Place our adventurer here. We're down to level 4. We'll also remove the monster deck. And we'll bring in the level 4 monsters. Now I'm a bit worried because I'm still only doing 2 damage because I only have 2 weapons. I need more weapons, but I'm just not finding them in the loot deck. This is not ideal. Right, so our first encounter will be a red gem. That is Pit of Despair. Draw 3 monsters and resolve combat. Well, that is not great. So the first one is a water elemental. It has 10 health, 12 damage, 12 attack value, and 2 damage. A giant, it has 7 health, 11 attack value, and 4 damage. And a wraith, it has 5 health, 13 MAV, and 3 damage. Okay, this is not looking good at all. I think we will target the giant first since it has the lowest combat value. So it is 11. So we've got a 9 plus 6 for our strength, it's 15, so we deal 2 damage. And then second round, we get a 9 again. That's good, we need to keep this up. Done 4 damage. Oh, this time we got a 4 and a 1, so it's going to deal 4 damage to us. We're down to 1 health. Nine, yes, that's just what I needed. So it's done 6 damage now. So at this point, I'm just going to discard the pickaxe to deal 1 damage and kill the giant. I'm not taking any risks here. So we are going to fight the water elemental next. 6 and a 4. So 6 plus 6 is a 12. So it hits us for 2. There is no way I can mitigate this unless I discard the gauntlets to reduce the damage taken, but that still leaves me with taking 1 damage. And that's it, unfortunately. I have lost. I did not expect to be facing 3 level 4 monsters in a row, dealing so little damage. Oh, that was absolutely terrible. That Pit of Despair, if it came out much earlier, would have been a lot better, let's say level 1 or even level 2. And I never found more weapons. And that was the end of this run. But I think the beauty of this game is that if I wanted to, I could just set up again in like 5 minutes and go again. And that's how quick it is to play. And there's just so much variety and randomness in flipping the cards that no 2 games ever feels the same. So I hope you've all enjoyed this quick playthrough. And I hope to see you again next time soon. Bye bye.